Lando Norris wins this year's Monaco Grand Prix. Interesting race. Got a few issues with the FAA. This new strategy of this two-pit strategy is some bullshit, but we'll get more into that in details. Let's get on with it on This Week in Formula One. Hello race fans, I'm your host Reese Jansen. Of course, as I already said, this is This Week in Formula One, and we are talking about the highly wonderful Monaco Grand Prix this year. This is race number 8 so far, and we've had some inspiring spectacle races throughout. It's been interesting for McLaren. They've been doing some great jobs, so obviously this was going to be interesting because it's Monaco. They got a new chicane, and of course this new two-pit mandatory pit that you have to make. You have to pit 2 times, whether you like it or not. And this whole bunch of penalties over if you do not pit. This will happen. This will happen. So it has been an interesting spectacle of a race. We've had great stuff with this race, and of course the biggest issue for me is Max almost won this race, but this was basically a race of strategy, and I think Red Bull didn't read it well. And of course Charles Leclerc, home race. Don't get me wrong, Oscar and Lando live in Monaco. Most racers actually live in Monaco, but I would have assumed that he was going to do, a 2-time win again. But overall, race had a few stars. Like Hadjar for me, finishing 6th. Best finish ever for him. Lawson, bloody hell. Lawson, the strategy on Racing Bulls was one of the best of this race. I think they deserve the MVP award for this race. And of course, much to be desired for Mercedes-Benz. Absolutely horrible. They've been having a horrible time in the past few races. Kimi Antonelli finishing 17th. Not brilliant at all. So, Russell even had a penalty issue there, overtaking, and getting on the new chicane. He cut through. Who was he cutting through? Albon or something. He didn't give the position back, and he got a 30-second penalty of some sort. And of course, you've got the unluckiest Formula One driver in the history of Formula One so far has to be Alonso. Fucking car fucks him up again. Dude was in position, man. He was in the top 10 positions, and his car just fucked him yet again. And that for me was not great. So, just not great at all. Not great at all for me. But the race as a whole was very interesting. We've got basically from position 9th, they were outlapped twice, fam. Twice by the famous Pep Guardiola. And with Lando Norris finished first. Of course, let's be honest, Verstappen would have won if the FA didn't implement this new bullshit strategy where you have to do a mandatory 2-pit. Rubbish, by my opinion. Yes, Monaco is one of the worst tracks in terms of overtaking. You will not see action. Monaco is one of those tracks that you will get a lot of accidents if people actually push their cars to the limit. And that's what happened with Bortoletti. He got a crash, but he managed to reverse. Everything was right with him. But Pierre Gasly, horrendous accident when he collided into Tsunoda. But Tsunoda's car managed to pull through. Dude was driving at one point with 3 wheels until he got into the pit lane. He couldn't brake because, you lost the fucking wheel and all that. And of course, Alonso, like I already mentioned, couldn't finish the race. So, yeah. Aston Martin having a hard time. Alpine, unfortunate with the whole accident. I think they would have been doing well. And of course, like when you look at the likes of Yuki, unfortunate. Basically, when it comes to Monaco, if you don't put a proper time, you will not win this damn race. When you look at the fact that Lando fucking Norris won the race, the qualifiers, that put him ahead. Because he was ahead. I don't know if you're hearing that, but that's my car. I think you're hearing it. It's my car with the racket. So, it's fucking weird. Hold on a sec. I could be getting robbed. This has never happened. Sorry about that. Live stream and nonsense happens. I don't know what happened, but I'm back. So, yeah, as I was saying with the whole race as a whole, that there are a few. Sorry, hold on a sec. There are a few factors that we have to consider with Monaco. Not a huge fan of Monaco. It's beautiful, it's nice, got the royal family at the podium, waiting to shake the hands of the winners. It's lavish, you get actors, you get models, you get everything that has nothing to do with racing. And then you don't get any overtaking. Basically, people who got overtaken, it happens when they're pitting. So this, for me, as a race fan, is the worst track ever. It's the rubbish track. It's written already. It's one of those tracks where whoever finishes, the top 3 racers always finish top 3. It's just that. Granted, Verstappen is not on podium because he did not pit. He waited until the last minute in anticipation for a safety car that never came. And I don't blame him for assuming a safety car would come. It's fucking Monaco. Accidents are prone to happen. And they never fucking did, fam. I guarantee if Pierre Gasly stood in the middle of the track, we could have gotten a virtual safety car. We could have gotten an actual safety car. And that would have meant a cheap pit for everybody else. And Verstappen would have won. But because Pierre Gasly decided to drive to the pit with a third car, leaving a virtual yellow flag for a section, my friend. And once the debris of his car was removed, Guns was Jamaican. Bok, 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 bok. They were racing throughout. And Verstappen really banked on a safety car and it didn't show. 78 laps on Monaco. No one got overtaken. No one. Granted, Russell overtaked, but illegally overtaking is not an overtake. No one got an overtake. Granted, a few people didn't finish in the position they started because somebody was in the pit lanes, fam. So this, for me, is one of by far the worst races in a long time. I never liked Monaco. I don't fucking like Monaco for that very reason. It's not racing. It's just follow the fucking leader and hope he makes a fucking mistake. Like 2 fucking laps, fam. How the fuck is a... Let me put it into perspective that you will understand. Every driver, except for the top 5, was outlapped. That means Hajar, who finished 6th, fam, was outlapped once. 6th, not 10th, not 11th, not 15th, 6th. Man was outlapped. Granted, the circuit is small. Granted, the circle is rigid. The circuit, rather. It's still rubbish, fam. We want racing. So Russell is right. There's no fucking point, fam. Finishing 11th is the same as finishing 19th or 20th. Fuck is the same as getting disqualified because you get no fucking points. There's nothing. I've always wondered, if you've been outlapped, why don't you just get the fuck out of the race? What's the point? Granted, if a safety car comes, you will get the opportunity to outlap, to outlap yourself. And then be 17th and actually maybe pass someone. That is a possibility. But once you're lapped, fam. Sometimes you're lapped by just the race leader. So it's not bad. But for you to be lapped twice, fam, that's downright embarrassing. And Russell was outlapped twice. Kimi Antonelli outlapped twice. Hulkenberg twice. Stroll twice. Bortoletti twice. Colapinto twice. Bourbon twice. But let's talk about the top 10 positions now. We've talked about the rubbish and how much I hate this new mandatory shit. No, don't get me wrong. The new mandatory forced two pit, whatever it's called. You have to pit twice, fam. 2 pit strategy, that's what they're calling it. The mandatory 2 pit strategy. This new thing the FA has introduced, I get why they introduced it. They wanted to give racers an opportunity to overtake each other. Because if you got to pit twice, by force, that means while you're on the pit, somebody might pass you, which will make an interesting race. Now the question now becomes, when do you pit, fam? Do you pit in earlier or do you pit in late towards the end like Verstappen? Or do you not try to pit at all and hope by the gods of racing there's a fucking safety car? That is what Russell and Kimi Antonelli attempted to do. But by God, got speed, fam. Everybody ahead of you got 2 pits done, fam. There's no fucking point. So it's very difficult. It's one of the worst tracks ever, fam. Like, if someone passes you, what are the chances that you pass them? 0. Because one mistake, you try to pass somebody while trying to follow the racing lane, has an accident. And you get into an accident, racers like Verstappen eat it all up. They be pitting like nobody's business. So next year, for fuck's sakes, we need a better track. I'm sick of this Monaco crap. Oh, Monaco, we're going to Monaco. Fuck that shit, man. I'm sick of this shit. Anyway, like I said, I hate this track. Limited overtaking, limited fun action. The only way you're going to get some action if somebody crashes. I don't want people crashing. I want races to race. I don't want no safety cars. I don't want no hindrances. Ooh, I have an issue with the headlamp here. Ooh, that is bad. I apologize. We don't want that. I'm having issues today. Yeah? First, my fucking car starts raining all over because my damn neighbor touched it. But now this. Anyway, let's talk about the people that impressed me. The top 10 racers. Carlos Sainz of Williams. Alex Albon of Williams. Now, these two have impressed me drastically, wonderfully, amazingly. Like Williams has been picking up steam, and Mercedes-Benz has been crumbling. I don't know what's going on, but they've been crumbling. Yes, they're having issues, but maybe, who knows? They'll get better on the next race in Spain. Now, Lawson of Racing Bulls. Now, somebody jokingly said, this was on the comment sections of a YouTube video I saw. Someone said, I hope they don't demote certain Red Bull drivers. I'm talking about the Racing Bull drivers. Because when you look at this, Lawson finished 8th, career high. Esteban Ocon of Haas finished 7th. And my God, I would not have believed it if you told me before that Australian race that Hajar, a rookie, would be here, especially driving Red Bulls, Racing Bulls rather. Now, somebody said regarding Hajar that if Isaac Hajar gets demoted to Red Bull, he'll be furious. And when you think about it, it's a fucking demotion. Look at where Tsunade is, fam. Look at where the man is. The man is a shell of himself. He's not the same. Yuki is not the same anymore. He's not. Yuki's not the same anymore. I think he would have been better off at Racing Bulls. Of course, he wanted that. I mean, what's better? To be number one at a team, or to be number two at a team where the car is created and articulated and managed and engineered to suit a certain driver, and that driver is not you. I'd rather have a car that's created for me and possibly help me win. Because Yuki's not finishing in the top 5. He's not. He's not getting podium. He's not. But Hajar got 6th. And Lawson was brilliant today. I have to say, a lot of people will say Hajar did brilliantly. Some will say Hamilton. Some will say Norris. Some will say Verstappen was great, but it was unlucky. Some will say Charles Leclerc. Some even say Oscar Piastri. But Lawson, for me, was brilliant. Lawson slowed down his car. He slowed down, allowing Hajar to pit. Not once, but twice. Infuriating the likes of Carlos Sainz, Russell, Albon behind him. He created traffic. Because you can't easily pass people in Monaco, granted. So if a man slows down, he slows everybody down. So that man slowed down. Hajar pitted. I was like, my God, this guy, when he starts pitting, they're going to pass him. Not my man Lawson. No. Lawson pits. And then pits again. And it still gets himself 8th fucking position, fam. So I'm impressed. And of course, Ocon of Haas, like I already said, finished 7th. And of course, Lewis Hamilton finished 5th. 51 seconds behind the race leader. He's the second only person not to be lapped. Technically, he's the only person who did not lap people, if I'm not mistaken. Or he wasn't lapped. Hamilton was not lapped. Great for him. And of course, defending. Can I say reigning? Can I say undisputed? I don't know. Max Verstappen finished 4th. Verstappen was ahead for a long time. But he had to pit. on lap 77. Because if he did not pit, he would get a 30-second penalty, which would put him fourth. But because of that, there's some other shit that we need to sit down and actually read about this whole mandatory fucking two stop strategy. What are some of the limitations? What are the penalties? Yes, you get your 30 seconds. But what if you blatantly say, fuck no, I'm not pitting. I'm only going to pit once. Are they just going to give you 30 seconds? Or are they going to give you more? Because the FAA sometimes is full of shit. Which begs the question. What? I don't know. Anyway, and of course, podium spots. Third goes to Oscar Piastri, who is currently the leader this year. I think Oscar is 3 points ahead of Norris. And of course, Charles Leclerc finished second at home, failing to finish first consecutively at Monaco. And of course, Lando Norris wins this year's Monaco Grand Prix 2025. Race 8 out of 24 this year. Incredible. Insightful. But we have to talk about the whole strategies that went throughout the whole race. Verstappen cost himself by not pitting. He buffled, he scuffled, he fumbled. Betting on a safety car is not a fucking strategy. Yes, it's brilliant when it happens. And understandably, it's Monaco. People are down to do some stupid shit and you're bound to get a safety car. Did not happen. Granted, throughout the whole weekend, we even had a fucking red car on yesterday's practices before the qualifiers. That happened. Yes. We had a red flag. Race was stopped. A lot of shit happened during the weekend. Granted, it's Monaco. Shit's bound to happen. But Maxi, you cannot base your whole fucking race on somebody crashing, fam. And of course, Ferrari. Ferrari took a calculated risk. Their median tire shit, they also were hoping for safety car intervention, but it never came. So a lot of people fucked up on the hope of a safety car coming up. But you have to applaud McLaren for maximizing their ability. They saw that if we're going to bank on safety car, it's going to kill us. So they just decided, let's get this whole shit out of the way. Piastri pitted, Norris pitted. They did it again. And bam. It was all for them. I like the whole fact where Norris called for Oscar, say, bro, come out here, man, and help me. This guy's on my ass. He's going to pass me if I'm not careful. So that was brilliant. It's nice to see. I don't know how Brown has done it, but as a team principal, what he's done is he's managed to put two racers to work together in such harmonious ways that, yes, they get frustrated when the other one has to let the other one pass in certain races. Last year, they prioritized Norris. This year, maybe they started thinking they're going to prioritize Norris, but Piastri has shown he's brilliant. But when you think about it, 3 points is what sets them apart. If I'm not mistaken. And if 3 points is what sets apart your racers, that in itself speaks volumes on the brilliance of the team as a whole. So they have to be applauded for that. That is my opinion. That we have to applaud McLaren for this. And we have to say, McLaren, you guys are brilliant. You guys have done the impossible. So, I am overly impressed. by them. Anyway, let's look at this. Piastri has 161 points. Norris has 158 points. Like I said, 3-point gap on the man. And of course, Verstappen, 136 points, third. George Russell, 99 points. Charles Leclerc, 79 points. He's fifth. Lewis Hamilton, 63 points. He's sixth. Seventh place, Kimi Antonelli, 48 points. Eighth place, Williams driver, Albon. Alex Albon. Now, if Kimi and Russell continue on the stench they are in, they will suffer. But it's still impressive for a rookie to be in top 7, top 10 in terms of points this season. So I'm impressed by him. Still impressed. And of course, Ocon, 9th place with 20 points of Haas. And of course, Hajar closing in the top 10 spots with 15 points. Rookie is impressive. So far, he's been doing a great job, but still not as impressive as Stroll. Nepotism at his best. I don't know why this guy's got a job, fam. I really don't know. But he's got 14 points, 11th. Carlos Sainz, 12 points. Interesting, Carlos Sainz has 12 points and he's 12th. That's a very cool thing. And of course, Yuki, 10 points. And of course, Pierre Gasly, 14th place with 7 points. Nico Hülkenberg, 15th place with 6 points. Oliver Berman, 6 points, 16th place. Lawson, 4 points, 17th place. And Zeman, with no points whatsoever, the unluckiest driver in the history of Formula One, Fernando Alonso, 18th with 0 points. And of course, Jack Dohan, who's been kicked or made a third racer driver by Alpine. And of course, these guys that I mentioned, they don't actually have any, I don't know, the order does not important, but we're just saying it. Franco Colapinto, and of course, the last man, is not really last, but Gabriel Bortoleto, 21st with 0 points. So we have a tied bottom with dotting with Alonso. Yeah, it's not been brilliant, I'll say. But let's look at the teams. 319 for McLaren. Mercedes-Benz have 147. That's George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. And of course, Red Bull Racing Team, 143. Which means if Mercedes continue with the stench that they're having, where they're not putting points on the board, Red Bull will hurdle through. As it stands, it's a 4-point gap between them. That's Verstappen and Yuki. So, Yuki needs to put some points on the board and get his team over. And of course, number 4. Also, it's interesting for third spot, if we have to be honest. Ferrari are a point behind Red Bull. Of course, it's clear to see for anyone that there's a high likelihood that McLaren will win both the Construction Cup. Last year they won it. They won the Constructors' Cup rather, but they did not win the championship. But this year they might actually win both. Anyway, Ferrari are 4th with 142. Williams, who have impressed me this season, They've not from the beginning, but they've picked up steam based on the last 3 races. They've been improvement, and I'm enjoying watching Carlos Sainz and Alexander Albon, who have 54 points, and of course Haas 6th with 26, 7 Racing Bulls with 22, Hajar and Lawson, and of course Austin Martin. All 14 points are acquired by Lance, who I'm calling Nepotism FC, but he's driving a lot better than Alonso. No question has to be asked. It's been 8 races. Fernando, you're not winning. You're not finishing well. But you're not crashing because the car keeps failing you. So they have no fucking reason to get rid of the man. Their car is shit. And of course, Alpine. Who will get rid of Carlo Franco Colapinto rather, after 5 races. This is his 2nd race. He's got 3 races left in him to actually put points on the board, to actually do something impressive, or they're gonna change him. Who knows? They've got 7 points, and of course 10th place is Kick Sauber with 6 points. I'm still saying they're gonna be called Audi next season. So Gabriel Bortoleto and Hulkenberg. Question is, will those 2 still be the drivers? I don't know. End of the season, there might be some shift arounds. Some people might get jobs where you didn't think they'd get jobs. And I think some of the people that you need to be worried of or look out for is the like of Hajar. I think Kimi will still be a Mercedes driver, but Isaac Hajar, it's going to be interesting what happens to him. But of course, he's not going to get a job at McLaren. If he moves, he'll move to Red Bull, and I don't think he should move to Red Bull. Fuck Red Bull. Fuck Red Bull in the sense that their number 2 driver is shit. Not because he's shit. He's shit because the car is shit. And the car's not shit because it's shit. The car is shit because it's driven by Max Verstappen. And only Max Verstappen can drive the bloody fucking car. So the car is shit in general. But for Verstappen, it's perfection. But it's not perfection because he's racing against those McLaren boys. And those McLaren boys are really, 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 really fast. But Ferrari's picking up steam. So, with that being said, I've told you what's the prediction. Where are we going? What's next? Because it will be interesting how we do things. We're in Spain on the 30th to the 1st. 30th May to the 1st of June, we will be in Spain. Hola, niños. So, that will be interesting. How will the race end there? I don't know. But, as it stands, these are my thoughts. Mercedes need to pick up their socks. Power unit has been an issue for Mercedes. It's costing teams that use the power unit from Mercedes. So, fuck that. You need to fix that shit. You got a week to fix that shit. So, Russell, Kimi need to pull out their socks. And Sainz and Albon, you need to drive faster than you are. Because if Mercedes pull up their shit, they're taking that spot that you're enjoying right now. And Racing Bulls, just keep on driving, lads. Very much impressed about your performance this week. Very impressed. And of course, Verstappen, your team fucked you, fam. Or you fucked yourself. Whoever said let's wait for that safety car fucked you. But I don't blame you. I mean, like, it's fucking Monaco. You can't overtake. Shit. Proper racing next week. Yep, we're going to the horns. I'm saying horns because it's shaped like, technically it's shaped like I don't want to say this, but the reproductive system of a female. It is. It's got like 2 ovaries on the side. Whatever. Okay, Spain up next. Then we head to Canada and we move on. So race 9, Spain. Will McLaren keep their stronghold on both the championship for drivers and teams? Remains to be seen. Can Yuki put points on the board and help Verstappen and Red Bull earn some points? Possibly secure second place in the Constructors' Cup. Or Ferrari will take over. A Mercedes will take over. It's never going to be the same. Formula 1, baby. It's the stuff of dreams. Anyway, adios, bonjour, whatever. I don't know how to speak French. Whatever language they speak in Monaco. I think it's French. I could be wrong. Anyways, adios. As always, do whatever happens. See you next week, I guess. Now that was entertaining. Please let us hang out yet another time. Remember to like and subscribe. Adios, folks. Adios.